Lizzie, where do you stand on this? If you're out for a date, first date, don't forget, first date, who should pay?
The man, of course. If he's asked you on a date, I think, as a gentleman,
What have you asked him?
Pay.
What have you asked him?
Well,
he should still pay.
I like a man to chase the girl. Okay, maybe
Would you
I'm
not
a little
ask a man for a date?
Well, I have actually, but I do prefer the men to ask. But look, what's wrong with men paying? I mean, it's a first date. They've asked you on the date. They should be honoured to have you there. And it's not, you know, everyone keeps saying, oh, this is old-fashioned ways. You know, you're doing the wrong thing by women. Every woman, if they're honest, wants to be treated, especially on a first date. I think it's so embarrassing if a guy's looking at the bill saying, well, you know, you've had a starter and I didn't. You had a glass of wine.
You know, I might have agreed with you when I was in my 20s because that's how it was done then. But if I was dating now, obviously I won't be because we're together forever, as you know. But should anything happen and I was on a first date, I wouldn't nowadays. I think life is very different.
Excuse me, could I just, au contraire again, talking nonsense? What Lizzie has just said there, if some man in front of you said, oh, you had 2 glasses of wine and I had 1, you would go frigid.
Yes, and
completely
I would be thinking,
at that point. That would be the end of that.
And I would be thinking, he's off my list because he's clearly mean, but it wouldn't stop me offering my heart.
There's a difference between mean and being fair, isn't it? You don't like going out for dinner with anybody who's sort of counting up who's had, you know, 3 extra garlic bread. So, but it's about being equal. And if women want to be regarded as equal to men, not the same, as equal, then we have to sort of, when it comes to things like sharing a bill, share the bill.
Yeah, but I think it's very different dating and women in the workplace, and I think that's where we're getting it a little bit wrong. I think every woman, if you're honest, wants to be treated on a first date, especially to say if a guy's asked you out, you know, to pay the bill.
But there's many ways that a man can treat a woman in a really nice way. He could turn up with a gift. He could say, he could talk to her about things that she's interested in rather than himself. He could do all sorts of things to make her feel special, other than just try and use money as this thing which, historically, whichever way you look at it, it is something that's been used to kind of control women.
We're wrong. It's not about the money. It's the principle. Because if you haven't got a lot of money, there's lots of places you can go that aren't very expensive.
But the principle is that women should be bought, but to some extent, by a man. And this whole sort of princess syndrome that women grow up with, the idea that they've got to be treated, especially that's actually deprived. But it's deprived. But there's lots of ways of showing good manners. There's lots and lots. But you're depriving women of asserting themselves as equals.
No, I think it's very sad that this is going out the window. I love it when a man opens the door or offers to pay the bill on a first date.
Do you ever feel any pressure to repay the bill with a tip?
Yeah.
You know?
Listen, I'm a very good tipper, actually. I like to tip. Yeah. But look, and obviously, if the dates were to continue, I would offer. I'm very good at offering once they've got the other guys.
Isn't the basis of a great relationship that's going to go somewhere one of sort of equality where you've got your interesting things you want to talk about, or they're funny or they're clever, not just about who's chucking the money around?
No, but Alice, I think any woman, if you ask any of my friends, if they had been on a date and the guy said, right, we're going to split the bill, wouldn't come home and say, hey, let's have a street party, he asked me to split the bill. They'd all probably say, you know what, he made me share the bill.
I think sometimes it would depend how you met them. So I think that scenario, you know, first dates is obviously very set up, so they know it's the first date, they don't know each other. Where maybe if you had become friends with somebody and you'd been flirting and he asked you out for dinner, maybe you would be surprised if he asked you to split the bill. But I think nowadays so many people date more than once. You know, they're dating 2 or 3 people until they find the one.
Do you not think...
Why should the man pay? And I don't. You're saying all my friends think
how
that.
Often, how often when we dated did you pay the bill?
That's not to the point. That's the point. Because I offer you. That's what you are. You are quite an old-fashioned kind of gentleman.
I'm Lizzie's sort of man.
You are, and mine. But don't say I didn't offer to pay, because I did. I was a very independent girl.
Yes, darling, yes.
But we're talking here on a first date where a guy has asked a woman out on a date, and I think, to be honest, it shows manners for the gentleman. He should be honoured to have the lady there with him to pay the bill, and there's no harm in it.
But there is a harm in it, because he's treating you as something lesser. He's not treating you as an equal.
Except, Alison, say you had 2 people and one patently earned more than the other, whether it's man or woman. I think then that's good manners and a decency thing to do, to say, don't worry about this.
I think if the relationship developed, at that point you could. It doesn't matter who's earning the most, the man or the woman. But certainly as a starting point, that you're both going into it on an equal footing, that's got to be the best place for it to start. Rather than to go into the idea that the man is somehow superior because he's buying the
It's
event.
not
But he's
superior.
he's trying to be kind. I suppose he's
Exactly.
trying to be...
But there's lots of ways of being kind, other than just taking control of the situation
But
by paying
it's
the bill.
not taking control. It's just being, as
it
Eamonn said,
and
kind.
what it is it's perpetuating this idea that
very
women need to be
old-fashioned
looked,
notion
that women
now.
need to be looked after, and they need to be sort of treated this princess kind of character. We don't need that,
It's
and
not
we should
princess.
encourage
It's not
young
princess.
girls, particularly, to actually
Disagree.
fight against
But
it.
let's
I
see,
have 2
let's-
teenage boys, and I've instilled in them, you know, on a first date, they're dating, you know, one's 16, to say, you know, treat the girl. And
Then if I had teenage girls, I would be
I would
saying,
be-
pay your way, offer.
Yes.
Now, if
And
then
my daughter-
your date
yeah.
says, no, honestly, you don't want that. No, you put it away, you put it away, you put it away. Eventually, one of you concedes. But if I had teenage daughters, I would definitely be saying
Yes.
to them,
But-
just because it's a man, it does not mean he pays.
Can
you
I
offer
just-
to pay your way.
I agree.
And if he offers to pay, that's very
And
nice.
as the dates go on, but if the chap asks you on a date, Ruth, I think it's very sweet and kind of him to offer to pay, and I think that's the way you should
Can I
do
just
it.
reveal the poll that we've been running? It seems to be a generational thing, maybe this. 43% say yes, a man should pay, but 57% say no. That's quite old-fashioned. It's an old-fashioned
interesting.
thing. 57%.
Yeah, I think it is
Yeah.
old-fashioned now. Hello, YouTube. For more of the same, just click here. And don't forget, you can subscribe for even more of these amazing videos exclusive to our channel.
Religions. I don't understand why you would need to wear clothes to show people what sort of religion you belong to. Some people feel the need to do it. The problem I have with it is